Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Maple-Sultan, and you are here with Feet Planted LLC. We have a treat for you. We have the second segment of our MomPreneur event, Power of Perseverance. Thank you so much for joining us. I have with me tonight Ms. Kenya Adams, founder and CEO of MyGodIs Apparel, and Ms. Danielle Rowell, founder of the Servant Coach LLC. Thank you so much for joining us. This music was curated by my fabulous husband, Mr. Al Felton. So I'm going to hush and let you listen and vibe in with us. So go get your pencil, get your papers. You're going to need to take notes. So come back and join us. All right, we're all here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Welcome. I'm going to turn the music down and get right into it. Welcome, Miss Kenya, Miss Danielle.
Hi.
So you all thought it was just going to be one. You get both. Double the trouble. You get both of them. If you are just joining us, you are here for the power of perseverance. This is an opportunity for you to listen to mommies who are mompreneurs, who are diligent in their family life, their work life, and guys, guess what? They are owners and founders, as you've already heard, of their own businesses. I am excited to and honored to sit at the feet of some of the most beautiful, intelligent women that I know in the game. So again, like I said at the top, I need you to get pencil, I need you to get paper, because they're going to drop so much knowledge. If you are interested in learning more about Feet Planted, I would go into information about what I do, but why? I've got a whole website. I need you to go to www.feetplantedllc.com, learn about what I do, learn about who I am, because that's not what we're talking about today. Today is the power of perseverance. And I am not going to waste any more of your time talking about me. I need you to learn about these ladies right here. Before we get into it, the reason that I am doing this is because I happen to have a mother whom I adore. If you all learned from last night's session, her name is Dr. Carolyn Mayfield. I put her picture up. I showed you all kinds of pictures. My mom was an educator. She was a civic leader. She was a soror. And she had a full-time job. She had 3 knuckleheads, myself included, at home. And she had multiple businesses. So I learned the juggle, the balance from watching her. I learned how she came home and cooked and then went to meetings. Some of those meetings she took us to. So I had a front row seat in a mompreneur. And so for Mother's Day, not only do I celebrate you, Dr. Carol Mayfield, I celebrate all women, to include these 2 women who are doing that and doing it with elegance, sometimes doing it scared and sometimes doing it, just with all the other things. So it is extremely important that we understand that this is a land of opportunity. If you are remotely interested in starting a business or needing an additional income stream, I need you again to go get your pencil and paper, because I know these women personally, and their journeys are going to be something that you will want to take notes about. So, like I said, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to throw the mic and this question at, not hit her right in the head with it. But I'm going to start off with Miss Kenya Adams. Please introduce yourself and tell us about you, your family, and MyGodIs Apparel.
First of all, I'd just like to say thank you, Karen, so much for having me on your show today, because I tell you, hands down, I've been watching you and you make it look so easy. You truly, truly do. My name is Kenya Adams. I'm the wife of a minister, and a lot of people don't know that. I'm a wife of a minister. I'm a grandmother of 4, and I actually have 1 grandchild on the way. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Yeah, it's kind of, a lot of people just don't know that. I'm glad to do this platform because a lot of people don't know I'm a wife of a minister, and I'm juggling so many different tasks as just being a wife and a mother. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, Karen, I don't think we can hear you.
See, this is what happens when you go live. What I just said was, thank you so much. Hey, y'all, this is real. We got a lot of buttons and stuff in here. It is all good.
My side. I said, don't tell me the internet went off on my side.
No, it is my fault. It is the host. The host needs to learn how to click our buttons. I would love for you, though, to continue to talk about, just give us a little bit of information about My God is Apparel.
Well, to be honest, Karen, this is a funny little story, a little background information. I started off with My God is Apparel simply because of the simple fact my 15-year-old daughter loves graphic tees. And I found myself always going shopping for graphic tees. And that's how we started. And someone told me, hey, Kenya, jokingly, they said, hey, Kenya, you know what? You should start a t-shirt business. And I was like, no way, me do a t-shirt business? And they were like, yeah, you should do it. And I gave it some thought. And I was like, just a little background, make it really short here for you. I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I can do this. The fleshly side of me wanted to do this t-shirt business. And I started off in a total different direction than what I'm doing now as a faith-based business. And I scrapped the entire idea of the business that I wanted to do. I scrapped it. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to do. It's not turning out the exact way. And so what happened was I went to bed and I woke up my husband in the middle of the night, and it just was on me. The vision was just on me really heavy. My heart was just really heavy. And it was just saying, hey, Kenya, call it My God is Apparel. And I was like, what? What do you want me to do? And I'm being really honest. He's letting you know that God said, call it My God is Apparel. And I went to the drawing board, and here I am later. I'm the founder and owner, content creator of My God is Apparel, an e-commerce business that I started back in 2021. And so I'm located here in Virginia. And also at the same time, I work full-time at ASCO, which is abbreviated for American Society of Clinical Oncology, as a senior accountant. So I'm juggling being, working, as a founder and owner of My God is Apparel. But that is just basically how I got started. And I still to this day, like I look back on that, I can design any t-shirt now, any t-shirt, any garment I can pretty much design. And I look back on that like, wow, look at this. I started off by just walking into a store called Kohl's looking for a graphic t-shirt for my daughter. And here I am today, the owner and the founder of My God is Apparel. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. So as you all know, I'm going to take notes. We're going to put her information up at the end. So you all are just going to have to stay tuned before you get all the deets. I love the how you started and how you got the idea. Your business started as solving a problem. And the reason I'm leading into that is because I know also a little bit about Miss Danielle Rowell and the Servant Coach LLC. So I'm leading in. It's good when you know who you're talking to, so I could do all the lead-ins for you. So Miss Rowell, Mrs. Rowell, please tell us a little bit about you and how you started the Servant Coach LLC.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Karen, for having me as well. I mean, you have just been doing it up. Kudos to you for all the successes to your business. Everyone, please, as she said, go to her website and learn about her. Karen, thank you so much. But as for me, so how the Servant Coach LLC started, it started for me just trying to navigate my own career. And let me back up a second. The Servant Coach LLC is a career coaching business. So I help motivated professionals accelerate their career through intentional and strategic action. And so going back to me trying to navigate my way, through this career minefield, what I like to call it, because you never know when you're going to step on a mine. You might lose a leg, you might lose a pinky, depending on what you're doing with all the politics involved. But I was afforded the opportunity to work with a leadership coach later on in my career. And I said, wow, if I had the opportunity to work with a coach earlier on my career, I don't know where I would be today. And so at that moment, it was, God speaking to me, Danielle, you can do this. You can, turn around and give back to others what you were just afforded and help them accelerate their career to help them reach their goals faster, because it can be done. You don't have to work in a position 20, 30 years before you get in leadership. There are lots of individuals my age, and a lot of people refer to me as, the baby, that are holding these top level leadership positions. And so, putting in the work, the motivation, you can achieve it as well. But beside that, I would like to say that my biggest job is being a wife and a mother to two beautiful little rambunctious girls, 4 and 6, who keep me busy nonstop. So on top of, the coaching business, being a wife and mom, I also work full time. I run a cyber engineering shop for OPM. So I'm busy, but I'm keeping it together, Karen.
I love it. I love it. I have my piece of paper here, and I write every time you all answer a question. I get so much good information about it. So for you folks out there, whether you're watching this later or another week later, you have a bonus. You have 2 women who are the founders of different types of companies. I mean, one is services, and the other is, a product, t-shirts and other things. I won't spill all of the tea, but what I do want you to understand, if you have to go and you just have to click the button right now, you've just heard 2 women say that they balance being a wife, being a mother of children, not a child, and they have full-time jobs, demanding jobs. I'm not trying to give all of their business away, but both of them are in high octane type positions. I'll let them tell you if they want to. And they are the founders of their own business. So if you think that you can't do it, I'm here to tell you that you can. And I know that they are going to tell you the same thing as well. So the theme for this event is called The Power of Perseverance, because trust me, they didn't get to where they are because they didn't persevere. I'm sure that there were some challenges, pitfalls, setbacks, and of course triumphs, because look, they're here, they're doing it. So the way that we're going to do these questions is that I'm going to leave you both on the screen, because I think that you're going to vibe off of each other and probably say something meaningful that you can tag team. So I'm going to talk to the green button again. Y'all are getting a twofer. The next time, y'all are gonna have to run me some coins. I gotta pay for all this knowledge that we're giving away for free. But it's for a good cause. It's Happy Mother's Day. It's celebrating our mothers. So let's just get right into it. And I'm gonna take my face off the screen so you can hear these later. So the first question is, what does perseverance mean to you, and how did you persist in starting your business? And either one of you who wants to start, just go right ahead, jump on it.
I'll go ahead and I'll start. For me, it was like stepping out of my comfort zone for me. Comfort zone, I was definitely comfortable with what I already, previously was doing before I found it, get into this position. And staying focused. Comfort zone, there's a lot that goes into owning a business. And comfort zones, for me, I was very comfortable not being on social media. And I have to use social media quite a bit to, and I love being behind the scenes, but to put me in the forefront, that is not me. But, I would have to say definitely, staying focused, coming out of the comfort zone, despite all the challenges and the setbacks, you must be able to stay in the game when everything around you looks like it's going, I want to say the bad word, but it's going basically when it's going.
We know what you're trying to say.
I don't know, it really is, because it's I'm being really real, because it's difficult, it's hard, and I would have to say, just coming out of my comfort zone and staying focused, honestly.
Yeah, I really like that, because, even now, when I think about social media, I just get so nervous, because I too like to be behind the scenes, but I know that I have to step outside that comfort zone, right, and showcase, my business, who I am, and those that I've helped, right? So that way, not only does my testimony spread, but those that I have helped, their testimony spreads as well. And for me, the power of perseverance means to never give up, to keep believing in yourself. And my story, like, this is probably my 6th business that I started.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I have failed a couple of times. But I know that God has put something inside of me that is this burning desire that I just can't turn off if I wanted to. There's been lots of times when I've said, well, you know what, this just isn't in God's plans for me. And he said, I didn't tell you, you told yourself that.
Yes.
And so it's just to continue, just to keep going on, even when you can't see the finish line, even when you don't know what the end result is going to be, just having that faith to believe that, what God put inside of you, he's going to continue to see it until it reaches its full potential.
Okay. I don't know if y'all heard that. 6 businesses. She has started 6 businesses, and now all of them bore fruit. And then, Kenya, I truly resonate with everything you both said, but coming out of your comfort zone, stepping out and being available and accessible, especially on social media. One of the things that I believe all 3 of us have in common is that we all have high octane positions outside of our business, but we don't rush to be in the front of anything. Like, I'm not running to be on YouTube and all these other things, but by the nature of the fire, I don't know which one of you said that, but the fire that was put in you to start your business, it burns up any hesitancy that we have, because there is something within us that needs to come out. And it's not just the goods and services, it's the messaging, it's the tools, it's the coaching. So I completely appreciate just the honesty and transparency in your answers, just letting us know that it's not easy. Which brings me to this question, which I'm gonna offer and say it is a little loaded. So I want you all to answer in any way that you see appropriate. What is it like? Talk to our audience about what it's like to own, because there's ownership, manage your own business and projects, and balance a full-time job and balance family. Now, you spoke about doing it. So this is the how. And feel free, if there are tips, feel free to talk about what a day looks like. I mean, however you want to answer it, but definitely, how do you do it?
It's hard. It's hard most days, especially for me, because I have little ones that are very demanding of my time. And I want them to know that I am putting them first, and they don't come second, and they should never be second. So it is really a juggling act, right? On top of, helping them with their homework, we have after school activities. They have things that they want to do on the weekends. So I've lived by my calendar. Everything is planned out. I've now bought a timer, so that way they know when mommy has a coaching call, okay, I'm going to set this timer for 1 hour and 30 minutes. In this time, you cannot bother mommy. When it goes off, mommy will be available and ready for you. And there's lots of times when I'm like doing the day-to-day, the behind the scenes, the administrative work, and I think back, oh my gosh, I wish I had my same team at work, because, I had people at work that helped me to do, a lot of the administrative tasks that I was having to take on within my own business. But I that's going to come, in time as the business grows. I will be able to hire more people to help me within the business, which will also free up more of my time. But it is a lot of just balancing my time, scheduling everything in my calendar, and making sure that my family knows that they are first, because it is my first ministry.
I have to piggyback off of Danielle and just say, having an action plan is really good. It helps you to stay accountable. She said something really good was that, I think the world, when they hear you say you have a business, I think the society thinks that we have, they don't realize that it's just us by ourselves. Right. And it takes a village, honestly, to do this. And starting off a business, when you're first starting off, you don't have that village. You don't have that. And we're home doing everything. I'm the content creator. I'm the one who's, running the reels, and, I'm juggling my family at the same time. I can't always say that, even though I say I have an action plan, that I necessarily follow the action.
Same here.
Yeah. It does not work like that. Sometimes my husband might be cooking breakfast and he's called me 20 times to come eat. So it doesn't always, I can't stick to the action plan that I put in place. I'm really bad at that. But it does help to have one. It is needed. It is necessary to have one, especially in your case, Danielle, when you have small little ones. I have a preteen here at my home, and she's the last one before I become an empty nester. So I couldn't imagine having little ones where I have to tend to and still try to run a business, because it's just difficult to try to run a business just by myself. And I don't have small little ones. So I definitely kudos to you on that, but definitely having an action plan, because it does hold you accountable, and not having the urge to quit and give up. There's times that, I have to shut it down and say, not today. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that I'm quitting. It just means I need to take a break and I need to step away from whatever I'm working on for that day, and just say, not today. I'm not giving it my full potential that I would want it to have, because I don't want to come at it halfway. So I have to say, okay, I got to close it down, but it doesn't mean that I'm quitting. So just not, having the urge not to give up and quit, even though something might not be working so much in your favor for that day.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes we need those breaks, especially when it's just us. You just get overwhelmed, and saying, not today is okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because it gives you a chance to recharge.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. I love it. I am horrible at recharging. So I am taking notes and circling, highlighting, underlining some things twice on my notes. What I did underline was full pause. That's how I heard what you said, Kenya. Sometimes you have to take a full pause, and to be flexible is what I also heard. This isn't one of your questions, but I'm going to ask to peel the onion back just a little bit more. There's somebody out there may be thinking, that I have to post every day. I have to just go hard. And some businesses not every business requires the same amount of effort and hustle. Let's just keep that out there. But what advice would you give, just based off of what you said about that full pause? What do you tell yourself when you take that step back, so that you don't get discouraged or that you don't beat yourself up? What do you say?
I would definitely say, Karen, don't be afraid of a recharge. I say a recharge is a refresher. And, that you coming back with a refreshed mind, and don't be afraid that you have to take a moment. Don't feel the pressure of the world, of the social media or whatever's going on around you, the pressure from that I have to do what they are doing. So the pause, don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as it's okay to do so. Like Karen was saying, she doesn't always do that. Neither do I, but I'm learning that it's necessary. And then it's okay. Like Danielle said, it's okay to take a pause, to take a break. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I am probably one of the most terrible posters on social media, and I need to get better at it. But I realized that all those hours that I spent, trying to generate content, a lot of that was taken away from kind of the family time, right? So again, it goes back to prioritizing, putting things in my calendar, making time for all the little things that I have to do, but also while I'm doing all of that, prioritizing my rest and just, rest my mind, rest my body, rest my spirit, everything. Because if I'm not well, nothing around me is going to be well.
Girl, you better say amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
You better say amen. Because so I can't speak for all women. I happen to have the pleasure of knowing these women beyond just casual. I know them very well. And so they are integral parts of their families. They have husbands and other family members. But true also in my home, we are the movers and the managers of not only the business, but we're the managers of our homes, and so being able to take steps back and be flexible and adjust to the needs and demands of the external things that are happening. And so again, I have another question for you, pinging off of that. What is alike about both of you is that you are the genesis of your business started with you. Like you are the founders of this idea that you have now taken further. Can you talk about how perseverance played a role in where you are now from where you started? Like, can you just peel back the onion just a little bit more of some of the things that you had to do, whether it be sacrifice? What did you have to do just to get to where you are at this moment, if you could?
So in order to really understand how to coach professionals, I went to school, to take classes when it came to coaching, right? To obtain my coaching certification. So in that period of time, it's probably about a year long where I had to sacrifice, evenings, sometimes, 2 to 3 hours of time periods of, hey, mommy's going to be busy after getting home from working 8-9 hours. Right. And so I really have to give, kudos to my husband and, my mother and my mother-in-law, who came together to like help when we needed it, especially, when I needed it. Because I know my husband was getting burned down as well, because those little two are rambunctious, I'm tell you. So it's a lot of sacrifice, in school and training and reading just to get to where I am now. Having my clients, I see them in the evening. So again, it's after working 8-9 hours, then I have my clients in the evening. So I really try to keep the weekends free if I can to spend more of that time with the family.
Yeah, I definitely say, hearing that word sacrifice, Karen, it's a great word, and I say great word because the simple fact when I was asked to do this, segment by you, that was one of the words that came to me was sacrifice. Us as being a wife and a mother, we sacrifice a lot because in my household, as you've already said, Karen, and noted, is that we are the center focal of our home. We keep things going. And without us, the wife, the mother, it kind of stops. And so we have to sacrifice a lot in, putting things on the back burner. It might be some time enjoyment with friends or family or whatever the case might be. We're constant, that word is used frequently. I don't want to say used frequently, but in reality it is, because I'm sacrificing a lot. It's not only just myself, it's my time with my family. And in our household, outside, Karen already are friends, and we're friends, and we talk about the word time quite a bit. And time in our house is a thief. It can rob you because it takes away from everything. And we're really big on time. And so, but it does sacrifice, you're sacrificing quite a bit from being, things around you and life in general, just to, running a business, or just not even just running a business, just being a wife and a mother. Just, yeah. So that word is definitely heavy on my heart.
Well, I want everybody out there to completely understand that the work that they're doing, and I'll include myself too, is touching lives, is changing people. And so when we talk about sacrifice, and we talk about sort of how they are building legacy. That's how I would like to phrase it. If you notice, I started the segment talking about my mother, and I did that on purpose because if you're listening, you may think, man, I don't know if I'm up for that. Everybody's journey is different. So what you have before you are two beautiful examples, or maybe even three, of how they're doing it and how I'm doing it. Doesn't have to be how you do it. Some of you may not have kids in the home. You may have, we're empty nesters for a little bit, and you may have more time. However it looks for you, I think the message that I want to make sure you hear is that there will be a sacrifice, because being an entrepreneur is not just having customers and making money. Entrepreneurship, according to me, is providing a service. Entrepreneurs in this country have done leaps and bounds in the community. Entrepreneurship is good for the economic development, not only for cash flow money, but for humanity. So these women are sacrificing not just to get coin or not to get coin, their legacy. My God is Apparel, the servant coach, what she's imparting in professionals, what I'm doing with Feet Planted is going to live on beyond us.
Yes.
So when we say sacrifice, when they say sacrifice, I don't want you to hear things are being put on the back burner and the business is in the forefront. It is a toggle of purpose-filled mission that these women are on. I want y'all to be 100% clear about that. So I love the statement, time is a thief. Ms. Kenya has said that a few times on our lives. And I want to piggyback on Danielle, because I remember when you started that training, and when you finished, I was just like, a year has gone by already. The upfront work that they've had to do to get to where they are is tremendous. I've had a front and second row seat to some of that. But for those of you out there, it is okay if you are interested in becoming an entrepreneur to understand that they may be steps. Some of it's training. I know for a fact Kenya did a lot of research. This girl researched everything. She's very analytical. I'm not trying to steal your thunder, but I happen to know a little bit about your process. So they've done the upfront work to lay a foundation, and a lot of it includes time. But when I look at where they both are now, this is where I get to pop my collar, because I know baddies that are doing it. When I see where they are now versus 2021, when we were all starting, I just know by the grace of God that so many people are going to be blessed. And you too, Green Button, will be blessed if you keep listening to some of this knowledge that they're dropping. So I just had to chime in and just high five y'all. This is a celebratory mommy event, so y'all just got to vibe with us. This actually, when we talk about family, when you all talked about your family, the question that I wanted to ask is, your family, are your children involved in your business? And if so, what do you think they're learning from you, or have they told you what they are learning from you? I've already said I sat at the feet of my mom, which is where I built some of my business acumen. So I'm just curious, are your children involved in your businesses?
Well, mine is, again, Michaela, she's 15 years old, and sometimes mommy's juggling too many things. And so I'll have her step in to help count inventory. Sometimes she's counting inventory to give me the count that I need so that I can actually post it onto the website. And then again, my husband, he does help with the shipping part of, when he helps with the shipping of packages when they need to get shipped out, taking them to the post office. And I also like to just chime in, just my family and friends, they help a great deal too as well. just, wearing my clothing, what I'm designing, they're wearing it, and my church family. So it just goes beyond just my family and my, helping me, but it's also my church family who's actually wearing these, the apparel that I'm making and, helping exploit the business. So, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, because mine are still so very little, the ways in which they help me are taking some of the chores off of my plate. So, hey, mommy has a client, this evening, can you go fold the towels? And they're so excited, to go and fold the towels. I hope that lasts until teenagerhood, but we'll see. And then also, my husband, just knowing that, hey, when I'm busy, he gets the girls. Either takes them outside, they go to the store, they're playing games, but keeps them entertained enough so they're not standing at the door, saying, mommy, when are you going to be done? But that's how they're involved right now.
Oh, that's good. And up folding the clothes, yeah, that will die out soon. Sorry. But I dare say that I know your little girls, and they are bundles of energy. And Michaela is super smart. So having been around your family, I know that they're absorbing a lot of your persistence, perseverance, of course. But I know that they're taking in what it's like to manage and to be responsible. And some of those are really good character traits to learn. So talking to the green button again, if you're out there, mompreneur or future mompreneur to be, please don't be afraid to involve your kids in your business, your entrepreneur endeavors from conception, not just when you get to be brick and mortar or click and order, but actually looking and seeing you do research and strategize, and because they'll start to look at the world differently, but they'll look at it through the lens of what you all are doing, because there's commerce, there's financial wisdom to be gained just from managing businesses. And I will tell you, honestly, this is another humble brag. Because of these ladies' businesses, I don't look at clothing the same. Like Kenya talks to me about the cotton and how it has to feel and how important it is. So she's got me in stores like touching t-shirts, trying to be like, no, that's cheap. That's not the right quality. And with the servant coach, actually some of what Danielle does kind of crosses over with my STEM-based business on how to grow early career professionals. And it's just like some of the things, plug, she's got some training. Y'all need to go to her website, but she'll talk about that later. Some of those things I'm learning about how on my day job, I look at the workforce and I'm like, I see gaps. And I'm like, I know somebody who could do this training. I know somebody who's got a whole business to help folks understand how to do their career. So it's a community. I think that's the message that these ladies are stating. And I hope that you're taking note of that. So we talked about how they started their business, how they've persevered. We're going to get to their business for real now with these questions. And I'm going to switch the order, because I think this next question, I am interested to hear from both of them, because I actually don't know the answer to this one. And that is, how do you respond to naysayers and haters? And please tell us, you don't tell us as much as you want, but I'm pretty sure that not everybody was on Team Danielle and Team Kenya. So whoever wants to start to share, please do.
I'll say, I'll go ahead and start if that's okay, Danielle.
Yeah.
I will say I don't. Honestly, Karen, I don't. And I will say this now, I don't. Back then, if I see the message coming underneath of social media, I was like, let me handle that. Let me take care of that. I got time. I'm not doing nothing but sitting here. Let me just go ahead and answer that real quick. But now, Karen, I will say, as I've grown into this business, and it does come, there's been comments that have just not been so appealing to the eye. Most of the time, I don't even have to go ahead and respond. my community, they will respond and they actually take care of it for me. But for me, I don't respond. And I think silence is golden. It really, truly is. It's golden because not everything, as my husband has taught me, not everything deserves a reply. And so I don't respond. I'll see it and I'm like, oh, well, God bless you and keep it moving. But I don't respond. I really, truly don't.
Yeah. And, as for me, I'm pretty sure I probably do. I just haven't seen any of the negative comments or heard them directly. So probably would like to keep it that way. But even if I were to see them, I definitely take Kenya's approach. And, every comment doesn't deserve a response. I know this is what God put in me, so I'm going to continue to move forward.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That is so wise. I'm just going to tell you now, y'all are who I aspire to be because I have some words for you. Come at me crazy, come at my family. Oh, I've got some words, but I'm joking. Wisdom and maturity teaches us. Your answers were perfect. That not every response needs to be met or responded to. Sometimes you got to let people feel the way that they feel. And I will also add, the reason that I asked this question is because there are friends that I've had. It's happened to me. My sisters, my womb mates, are also entrepreneurs. And during the course of their launches and their businesses, people would be like, don't kind of understand the vision or why are you doing that? So there may be people close to you and they may not know that they're naysayers. They may not purpose to be haters or naysayers, but they may be doubters. And so let me couch it that way because thankfully, not only do you all have a wise and mature way to handle that foolery, you just press on. And you've already said at the top of this, if you're just joining us, Kenya and Danielle talked about how focused they were and are in their business. So let me couch it a different way. What advice would you give to a future mompreneur or a mompreneur right now that's handling doubt from themselves or from other people? What advice can you give them?
I would say for a mom who is handling or, dealing with doubt is to get out of your head. Believe in yourself. Know you can do it. If it's a dream that started in you, let it come out. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, what they feel, what they've said. As long as you believe it, that's all that matters. Just keep moving forward.
I have to agree with Danielle on that. As long as you believe it, don't worry about anyone else around you. And this is real talk. Not everybody's going to understand your vision. And that's not meant for everybody. So some people, you might be trying to explain something to them and you might get that no. Don't be afraid just because someone has told you no over here that it's going to define you for the rest of the period that you're trying to do something. Don't let it define you. Again, not everybody's vision is going to be for them. And, it's just not. And stick to your gun, keep moving forward. Don't let anything stop you. Like Danielle says, believe in yourself. Don't lose focus on that.
Right.
No, that's good. I couldn't get to the button fast enough because I was too busy typing. I was too busy writing down all of these good nuggets. And I'll be honest with you, as I am, I'm transparent in that even on this journey that I'm on, sometimes I wake up and it's just like, am I still supposed to be doing this? And that's the inside doubt.
Yes.
But I'm being encouraged, even just listening to you, to not give up. To don't let the no's define you. The corrections oftentimes that we've seen, and I'm sure that you've seen in our businesses, actually are good because it opens you up to different ideas and to be receptive. So I want to actually get to a little bit of some resources. This was one of the questions, but I'm going to expand on it a little bit to get to some tangible tools. So this question is general, but make it as specific as you need to. Are there specific tools and resources that are your go-tos for your business. And it could be a computer program. It could be how you spend your time. Is there a resource that has really, really helped you gain some ground as you've progressed in your business?
You know, for me, Google is my best friend.
Oh, yes.
I am on Google all the time. I'm researching things, but also, you know, not just Google. I have mentors, you know, people who are like multi-million dollar, you know, business owners, talking to them, understanding what their day-to-day is like, how they plan out their weeks, how they got to where they are today. And then like reading, I love to read, you know, like I want to understand, you know, the billionaires of the world. What are strategies that they're putting into place? How are they maintaining, you know, their businesses and being so successful? So I would say Google, my mentors, and reading. It really the top 3 resources that I use to help push me forward.
Yeah, piggybacking off of Danielle, I would definitely say Google. Researching is quite a bit. For me in the business that I'm in, most believe that the t-shirt business is saturated, and you know, it's a saturated market. And I don't believe in that. I believe that whatever the resources that I use are like, I will go to the big ones, like Danielle was saying, the multi-million dollar businesses. I'm constantly looking at New York Fashion Week, or I'm looking at Vogue or Gucci, those top big designers. And when I'm looking at them, I'm looking at them more just like, what's your overall color, the style, the designs, what is happening out there in the market that I can, you know, use as inspiration to, you know, leverage for me to build my t-shirt or my, you know, my apparel business off of. So don't be afraid that you have to stay in your niche. Just apparel business, like I can learn from Danielle anything. I can learn from Feet Planted. You know, you don't consume yourself thinking that you have to stay within what your business is outlining. You can learn. Wisdom is anywhere. So that's just me. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
No, that's good. I mean, what you see here, folks, is a trifecta. Did that on purpose, of partnership. We leverage and learn off of each other. I'm going to throw one in there if you all don't mind, because this is truly your platform. And I got this from a conversation with Kenyon. That's partnerships. Don't be afraid to partner. That is an excellent resource. So since I put it out there, I'm going to throw the word partnership back to both of you and ask if you can describe it, if you want to share, talk about why partnerships are important to your particular business and if you've partnered with anyone.
I have not had the opportunity. Well, actually, yes, I have. I have partnered with other Christian rappers. I've partnered with other family members that are in church. But when Karen asked me to do this segment, I was like, wow, this is a great opportunity, because running a business, I don't want to feel like I have to stay in that circle. I don't, I learned something when backing up to her question about resources. I learned something when I was researching. I learned that you need to go and on social media and start responding to the ones that you really just don't think it's going to respond to you, like Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner and all of those big time names, and keep putting yourself out there so that you can be seen. And believe it or not, it has worked for me. I've had someone at a label that I do follow, and they've actually responded to me quite a bit. So, that is just how I put myself out there like that. That's just kind of what I do to keep myself going. Yeah.
That's awesome, Kenya. Yeah, for me, so partnership is extremely important. And that's something that I coach with my clients when it comes to building authentic relationships, right? Within their personal, professional careers, right? Building those strategic, professional relationships are important to advance them. And it's the same way in business. Building those partnerships are very, very important. Just like, being on this show with Karen here today and with you, Kenya, right? We are all
Exactly.
partnering. We are helping each other to
Mhm.
move our various missions forward, and for me, I don't do resume writing, but I know someone that does. And so when a client comes to me saying, hey, can you look at my resume? Absolutely. But you should contact, such and such because she's awesome. This is what she does. And she will be able to give you more of an overview than I can because that's not something that I offer.
Mm-hmm.
But partnership is very, very important.
And I just piggybacking off of Danielle, another thing is don't let jealousy and envy get in the way.
Yeah.
Because, and social media can make you feel that way. Oh, wow, I see them. I can do that. I want to do that. And don't let jealousy and envy get in the way. Truly don't let that, because, I when I see that, I just I want to be able to partnership and collaborate with other businesses, because it's so easy to consume yourself into oh, wow, they're doing that, and you're feeling envious about it, and because they're a step ahead of you. And you have to remember that everyone's starting line and everyone's finish line is totally different from yours. And that's why I say social media can sometimes help you. It can also hurt you.
Right.
So if you have to keep your eyes on the prize and keep yourself focused on what you're trying to accomplish and who and why you're trying to accomplish what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here shaking my head. Let the church say amen again. I keep saying that, and that's because it is such good advice. I wrote down, know your why.
Yes.
When you, green button again, message, when you know your why, audience, you could care less what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
You care enough as an entrepreneur to be cognizant, to understand what's out there. But don't worry about, they've said it best. Don't worry about how many widget makers there are or how many content creators, whatever business, whatever passion you have that you want to turn into an entrepreneurial endeavor, go for it. Do not get caught up in what other people are doing. And I will add this: use social media for what social media is used for. Understand that there are bad actors everywhere. So I have some folks out there that may be thinking, I don't want to get on that. Do what is best for you, but understand your why, because when you know your why, then all of the other things just don't matter. Like, you know what you're doing, and we're all different. We're all individuals, just fearfully and wonderfully made. And so you may know another t-shirt vendor or another Christian t-shirt business, but Kenya's Kenya, right? You may know another their gazillion career, businesses, but Danielle is can't nobody be Danielle, right?
Right.
She's the only one. And so when we fully engage and come in with a pure heart to partner, which means you impart to me and I impart to you, whatever you can use, you keep. What you can't use or keep, you just don't take it. You just leave it there. Then you're constantly in a state of movement. Oh, this is such good advice. And so if you are just joining us now, let's just say you had some other things to do and you are just clicking in and joining us. My name is Karen Mayfield Felton. I'm the owner of Feet Planted LLC, and you are here for the second day of my MomPreneur event called The Power of Perseverance. These two beautiful ladies here, you can read their names: Danielle Rowell, the owner of the Servant Coach LLC, and Miss Kenya Adams, owner and founder, they're both founders of MyGodIs Apparel, are dropping some tea. So I need you to full on rewind, play this later, play it for your friends, have a little watch party, because they are dropping some significant knowledge. And just to share with you what you've missed, I'm going to throw this on the screen. A few minutes ago, a no doesn't define you. We talked about that. Actually, I don't know which one of you said it, but that's what they said. A no does not define you, and you're going to learn something. And then they also said, keep moving forward. Let nothing That's a nothing. Let nothing or no one stop you. So those are just little highlights. See, I help people out. They may join us late. They may join us late. That is completely okay. Come on in the room, grab a sheet of paper and your snack on the way in. But let's keep this train of wisdom moving. I want to ask you, what's the best advice you've ever received as an entrepreneur?
That's a good question.
I would have to say, again, going back to keeping focused. It's so easily to lose focus and lose why you're doing this. And just not getting soaked up in what's happening around you. Because I know for me, I've done it and it's easy to do. I'll be sidetracked and looking at what someone else is doing. And I'm like, wow, if they can, like I said, if they can do it, I can do it. And you've totally lost what your business is about because you've gotten so saturated of looking at what someone else is doing. So, and like I said, I've done it. I'm guilty of it. But when I say that, I don't mean it in a way to lose inspiration. Now, you can look at others and gain inspiration, and that is nothing wrong with that because I do that constantly. I'm looking at someone else to gain the inspiration that I need. But then again, I'm putting my own twist onto it. But again, just keeping focused and realizing why you're doing what you're doing and not looking at everything around you.
Yeah, I love that. For me, I would say entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. There are going to be days where you feel like giving up, days where you ask yourself, am I crazy to have this dream? Like, why am I doing this? Goes back to what Kenya said earlier, is knowing your why. And when you're having those moments and you're doubting yourself, go back to what is my why? And as long as you can stand firmly on that why, nothing else matters.
That is sound advice. And I will take a stretch and say that applies to anything. Yes. That's just entrepreneurship. Know your why and what you do with your family, your friends, your work, anywhere that you take up space, understand the why. And even when you don't understand it, be clear about who you are in that moment and in that space. That's really good. I like throwing curveballs. If you've met me or seen any of my lives, I like asking questions that I don't prep my guests for. And this one is no different. So I would love to know, as I'm sure our audience and now your audience hopefully will want to know, what would you consider to be your greatest accomplishment in your business up until this point?
For me, my greatest accomplishment is always the success of my clients. Seeing them succeed makes me feel good because at the end of the day, I'm doing it for them, right? I mean, it's not just for me. It's not just, building a legacy for my family, showing my girls that there's another path. It doesn't have to be the 9-to-5 life. You can build your own. But seeing my clients advance and get to the next level, like for an example, I had one client from the year that we worked together, he gotten 3 promotions. And I mean, just to hear him, see the look on his face, that was all for me.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't have another client, like just seeing how happy he was a great accomplishment for me.
Wow. I have to, Danielle, that is so on point because when I step out in love, I become someone else's hope. And I say that because I did not realize how much I had an effect on, my customers, my clients that are, coming in and purchasing from me, until the one day they dropped me a DM and they said, "Hey, Kenya, where are you?" And, I'm like, that's one of those days where I just, being honest, I had to close down and just say, not today. I cannot do it, and again, it goes back to the why. Why are you doing this? But then I realized when someone is sending me a DM and telling me how much they've missed me, I don't see you on a video. I don't see the reels going that they're looking forward to, or the scriptures that I'm putting out, I did not realize the impact that I had on these individuals. And I'm just like, wow, this is why you called me to do this, God. Now I realize that this is, why am I doing this? It makes my heart just melt. Like Danielle said, when you see the joy in their faces, or just sending me a message, that helps me to keep pushing, to keep moving forward. That I don't have to impact many, and I can just impact one. And that makes my day. It truly does.
That's a lot of love right there. I absolutely enjoy listening to both of you talk about how you are changing the lives of others with the passion that's been put in you. And it made me think of this, to say to not just you, but to everyone. If you are not interested in becoming an entrepreneur, that's absolutely fine. But if you see someone out there and you want to give a little bit of encouragement, please do so. I'll share this small story with you. Before I started Feet Planted, my strategy was to actually see who was out there. And it came from the 4-letter word that Kenya just mentioned a minute ago, which was love. I said, I want to send some positive vibes out there. We were in COVID, the world was going a little cray cray. We were all a little stir crazy. And I said, everybody's out here. What kind of light can I shed? So when I would see people posting, these were strangers. These people didn't know me from Adam. I would clap. I would actually say congratulations. I would say happy birthday. I started a phrase that says, go get it. Let's go. Like, I just wanted to be an encourager. And to think that someone out there decided to do that for Kenya that day, and to think that Danielle's clients are actually succeeding. We are changing the face of humanity through our businesses, but also through who we are and who we were called to be. And that is the spirit that I think you all would agree as to why, why we do this. And the fact that you are mothers, that you are not just and have not just birthed pure human beings with blood cells, heads, arms, and legs. You are birthing ideas into people. So when I wear your t-shirts, I've been stopped many times asking, who did that? Where'd you come up with? Here's a card. When I share, first of all, go on LinkedIn. Danielle's on LinkedIn all the time. It does a really good job of posting and reposting really good quotes. And it's just like, I have had a bad day. And she's reposted something. I was just like, there she goes again. I needed that. I needed that extra push. That's what really this impact of what we have and what we are doing, and more importantly, what these women are doing with their businesses on it, the impact on the community and other people needs to be celebrated. I am so honored to again sit across the keyboard from knowledge and your perseverance and learning how you are day to day just going after it. And every day, as we all know, isn't the greatest day. Some days you just like, can I pull the covers over my head and just stay put? But listening to how you continue to persevere and how you continue to do it, and you don't just do it halfway. We're going to put up I'm going to put up their contact information, but there's nothing stopping you from Googling them right now. Hopefully you've already found them on social media. They're there. You've already found their websites. But we're going to put up their contact cards at the end so that you can know exactly how you need to reach them. Before we end, I always give my guests the opportunity to share words of wisdom, but this is a twofer because there's two of you here. So not only do I want you to share any words of wisdom to a future mompreneur out there, I would just love for you to share, in addition to that, words of wisdom on how they can continue to persevere in the face of uncertainty. Because launching out, I mean, you said it. That's why I loved it when you said it, Danielle. You've had 6 businesses before. Not all of them did well. It's uncertain. There was a chance that Feet Planted was just going to be another name. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. So if both of you could speak to those points, I would really love it. And I know our audience would as well.
If I could share any words of wisdom with a mompreneur out there, motherhood is tough. And then when you add entrepreneur on top of it, it's even tougher. There are going to be days where you feel like throwing in the towel, you want to give up, you want to quit. Husband, kids, everyone just acting crazy. But don't. Keep that fire inside, that faith that you have to get to the next day. Just keep it going. Just tell yourself that I can do this. I will do this, and I can do this. And just keep moving forward one day at a time.
Yeah, definitely take it one day at a time and moving forward and knowing and believing in yourself, and having a support team around you that that can help you, keeping you elevated and lifted. I heard something from Denzel Washington, and I loved it when I heard it. It says, to get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, this is not something that was on my agenda, written down in my calendar to own a faith-based business. I'll tell you right now. And I was like, I'm still in awe to realize, to say, hey, I'm doing this. And I'm doing it on my time, not someone else's time. And when I don't feel like putting my hands on it for that day, it's okay to say no. And just that meaning and letting that no, even though I said that no for that one time, I don't let it define the situation or define who I am as a person. And so it's okay to, move forward, believe in yourself, and know that you can do it. It is hard work. It, like Danielle said early on in the segment, she said, knowing that it is not for the faint of heart. It is not. It does come with a lot of responsibility. It does come with a lot of sacrifice. But you can do it. If I can do it, and Danielle and Karen can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely. And if I could just add one last thing, there's a book that I recently read, phenomenal. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And it just breaks down on, you just pick, you plan it out, but it's one thing. So what am I going to do on this one day that will get me closer to my goals? So it's one day, 1 week, 1 month. Every single day adds up to get you closer. And as you're going through your day, you're going through your weeks, your months, be cautious of the decisions that you're saying yes to.
Yes.
So is what you're saying yes to going to take you further or closer away from your end result? And ask yourself that before making the final decision.
Ooh, girl, y'all just gave me chills. First of all, I'm geeking out because I have The One Thing. I read that book 3 years ago.
I need to get that. I'm going to get that. Thank you.
Upset. I turned around when you said it. You all couldn't see me. I was gonna pull it off of my bookshelf, but I have it. Changed my life. Such good advice. I admittedly already told you at the top of this that I know these women personally, but I am going to also say that they have changed my life. They have made an impact on my life by doing what they have been and are called to do, doing it scared, doing it tired, doing it when they don't know what the end is going to be. So I sincerely thank both of you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to pour into our audience. And hopefully, if you're watching this, that you rewind it to get encouragement. Play this when the day doesn't go so well, or you get that 15th no. Play these words of wisdom again to learn how to persevere and to actually just learn that you can just do it just take one day at a time. And I definitely recommend that book, The One Thing, for you. So as promised, I am going to put up their contact information. Since I started with Kenya, I am going to put up Danielle's information. I want to make sure that you see her beautiful face and her name on this contact card. So I'm looking at the green button again. If you are just joining us, you have missed a treat. One of my guests, Danielle Rowell, is the founder of the Servant Coach LLC. She is on Instagram at _servant_coach. You can go to her website at www.theservantcoach.com. And this has been the power of perseverance. And next, I am going to bring up Miss Kenya. Let's see. There we go. I know how to make the buttons work. Miss Kenya Adams, Mrs. Kenya Adams to be correct. She is the founder and CEO of MyGodIs Apparel LLC. She is also on Instagram. You can find her at MyGodIs Apparel. Please spell that word correctly or you won't get her. You will also need to go to her website, www.mygodisapparel.com. Ladies, this has been an absolute pleasure. I cannot tell you enough. I'm looking for all of the buttons. There's the button. That's not quite the one that I wanted. There you go. That's the button. So as custom, guys, we roll out of here with some music because that music has been curated by none other than I'm going to throw up a banner because I keep doing it. You can find him at Felton Productions. I'm so proud of him. He's another entrepreneur. He's not a mom, but he is a supporter of this bonus mom. So I have to give him the credit. Again, if you are just joining us, you missed it. You can watch it again. I sincerely encourage that you do. Again, my name is Karen Mayfield Felton, and this has been the power of perseverance. I was honored to have two guests, Mrs. Danielle Rowell, the founder of the Servant Coach LLC, and Mrs. Kenya Adams, founder of MyGodIs Apparel. Go find them, go look at their businesses, reach out to them. These women are approachable, they are wise, and more importantly, they are mompreneurs who have persevered and are killing it in their businesses and in their lives. So, thank you for joining us. Please join me again for one more evening where we actually talk about what it was like to be with these guests. And please play this back. Share it with as many people as possible so that we can create a community of excellence, starting with these beautiful women right here. Until next time, you all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Hello, my friends. My name is Karen Mayfield Felton, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in and watching our first MomPreneur event, The Power of Perseverance. As you can probably already tell, this was pre-recorded and aired the week leading up to Mother's Day. We needed to make sure that we had time to enjoy our mothers, enjoy our families, and guess what, y'all? We have busy schedules, as I'm sure you're already hearing about. But have no fear. I want you to go to YouTube, type in Feet Planted LLC, find this live, and please put your questions in the comments. My guests and I are going to be looking out for them, and we are going to respond to every single question that we are able to. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I hope that this information so far has been very helpful to you, and stick around. You're going to enjoy a lot more.